sycamore, and well, I'm unloading it. He's kind of using a snow shovel to get the leaves out of the way there. If you haven't ever used one of those for leaves, they actually work really well. And but I'm unloading the sycamore here out of the bed. I've already got the trailer cleared, as you saw, and that was mainly maple on the trailer. And as what I was afraid of too with the sycamore, which it's not a big deal either way. This is just extra wood for me right here. Honestly, I didn't need to go get this wood or anything like that by any means. It's just extra wood, and I knew it would be some interesting footage. So decent load of wood. Some of the sycamore rounds. I'm gonna try to split one of these on just a little bit just to see if it seems dry or green. Windy today. There's some sycamore I was able to chop the sides off of. Some of that stuff. Order's over there with them, so he's not gonna be able to split right now. It's a little windy out, so my baby's staying in. But by the way, I know it's much easier to split the sides off, which people that's been watching me probably know that. But I get comments all the time telling me that splitting down the middle is a waste of time and energy. It's not for what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it for shorts and to generate views, and that's exactly what it's doing. So it's well worth the energy. But I understand they don't realize that. But chopping the sides off is definitely the way to do it. Start splitting some of this maple. I can tell from watching this and when I was doing it that my energy isn't really there as much as I'd like it to be. But part of the reason why is I was pretty sore. I'm actually very sore right now in my arms. I was with Sonny the other day, and they had weights there, and I ended up lifting them with him and his brother. And my arms are still hurting from it, which we did quite a few sets of curls. And I don't lift weights really anymore. I used to when I was a teenager, and when I was maybe in my early 20s. At one point, I did it daily, and I don't have nothing against it at all, or nothing like that. I'm not for a proud look, I'm not for that. I don't like that as far as like working out to just go around and try to be seen. The Bible's against a proud look, It's abomination unto God, actually, a proud look is, the Bible says. So I'm not into it for that at all. But I mean, I don't even lift weights really anymore. And that's why I'm so sore. But I'm not opposed to maybe starting to lift a little bit again. I get a lot of lifting though in what I'm doing here, plenty. But it's just it targets a different area when you're doing it with weights and when you're doing it like this. Now, you get a guy that just lifts weights all the time and that's all he does, and you take him out and try to get him to do something like this, he's not going to be able to hand split for probably 30 seconds without sitting down and getting tired. Most of them anyways, I know because I've been around guys like that. When I was younger, I used to go to a gym and everything a lot. But now I like to just do physical work more myself. Not saying I'm against weights whatsoever, because I'm not. I'm just against doing it for the wrong reason, I guess. There's nothing wrong with, I don't feel, lifting weights for your health and everything like that, and to get stronger physically and for the benefits. It does have benefits with all of that. So, but anyways, that's where I'm getting at with this. My biceps right here are very sore, very sore. Right now they're very sore. I can't extend my arm straight out really. If I try to extend it straight out, it's very sore right now. But and not only that too, I was working on something the other day and mashed my thumb. I thought I broke my thumb with a hammer. Hit it harder than I've ever hit it before, and it was underneath of it was a piece of metal too. So I smashed my finger in between metal and metal, with the hammerhead, and I thought I broke it. I mean, it took me about 2 minutes walking around holding it before it kind of settled down a little bit. But I mean, I can feel it when I'm swinging that axe right now. Not trying to make excuses by no means. All men who do physical work know what it's like to work with an injury or just being sore, what it's like, to work with that. And it's something that is definitely makes it harder, without a doubt. But it's something that's going to happen too, from time to time when you're doing this kind of work. Which the weight thing it didn't necessarily have to happen, but I noticed back when I used to lift weights, though, I got to a point where I really didn't even get sore anymore. But now where I haven't done that so long and I just went right into it, doing a bunch of sets like that, yeah, my biceps are feeling it. They're sore right now. But this is that maple that you seen me get from the place the other day. There's a big knot in this piece. Maple can be tough when it's knotted. Definitely can. It's pretty knotted stuff. But as I was saying earlier, I didn't need any of this wood. I believe this maple is somewhat seasoned, you know, but the sycamore isn't, definitely isn't. And I just thought it would be some good footage, to be honest with you. And when I went and looked at it and seen that slab, I was interested in getting that as well. And then also, after talking about sycamore for so long on the channel, I thought that would be a good opportunity to show, you know, why I talk about it so much and how tough it is. But I'm also about to have a lot more sycamore, you know, from the big one that I'm felling with the axes.
Kind of go in between a couple
So,
there.
yeah, but the thing to do with that is just let it season. And once it's seasoned, it's a whole different ball game splitting it. But if you try to split it when it's green, I'm telling you right now, it's not worth it. It really isn't worth it. If all wood was like that, I would not want to be a wood splitter by hand. I'll tell you that right now. I wouldn't want to do it. I mean, it would take, you know, down how long just to split a truckload, and that's no joke. I did a video on here where I hand split a little bitty round that Mount have made like a bundle of wood, and I hit that thing 73 times hard, and in the relatively the same spot, and it still wouldn't split for me. So that just shows you how tough it is. It's not worth it. Not only that, the BTUs aren't the greatest on it either. So why would I mess with something like that when I can get oak that has more BTUs and splits easier? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a bad piece
So
there.
it's just not smart. But I picked it up because it was extra wood, and I knew once it did season, I would be able to split it and mix it in with things like oak whenever I do some deliveries. But the kids are back there behind me playing. It was a very nice day. Beautiful. Well, it is a very nice day. This is today, so it's beautiful out, and glad to be making these videos again. You can see they're back there kind of behind me playing. I always tell them to stay up there in that area, and my wife is usually with them. But right now it was so windy that she didn't want to bring my baby out. My smallest girl, she just turned 1 this month on the 12th, so she's so little. And that wind kind of takes her breath away when it gets real windy. But they're over there playing, and I kind of keep an eye on them every now and then. They're all old enough to know what to do and what not to do, but I still keep an eye on them, of course, you know. I don't just let them run wild. And I tell them to stay away from me when I'm doing that, you know, stay over there in that area. That's usually, there's a big field up there in the front, and they play in that field, and they've got a swing set there. And you know that swing set right there, it's a nice cedar swing set, nice one. It's like a $1,400 swing set. Someone that I sold firewood to gave me that for free. So I went and I was so happy to get that thing. I mean, I had a swing set before that I had made, pretty much homemade, and worked just fine for them. But that one looks so much better, and it's got like a tunnel slide and everything. So I was very happy to get it. That shed, you know, that shed it's to my left, I think, in this video. That I got from somebody who I sold firewood to for free. So. The truck out there I bought from somebody, you know, that I sold firewood to. So there's lots of different things you'll run into. It's one of my favorite things about doing firewood and landscaping and lawn care is that you meet a lot of different people that you otherwise wouldn't have met, you know. Whereas if you're in like a factory or a building or something all the time, you're around mainly the same people there. Not that you won't run into things like that, but when you work for yourself and you go to so many different places, you run into so many different people, and many of them have things they just want to get rid of that you could really use, or that lots of people would like to have, honestly, and they just give it away. Or you can find a good deal, you know, like that truck I had, you know, that wasn't given to me, but he worked out a good deal with me on it. So I was very happy to get it. Tommy the Tomcat, he always wants to stay around me, that cat. He's always wanting to be with me. And I mean, I have nothing against that, but years ago, I think we've had him for around 2 years, I was working on a zero-turn mower of mine. And I'd been working on that mower for about an hour. And I got on it and, just to see if I had fixed everything right, and took off and turned around, just to turn it and see how it was doing. When I turned around, he was laying on the ground kicking. I had ran over his head with that mower. Had no idea he was under. He was almost a kitten at that point too. He was just a little bigger than a kitten, And I ran right over his head with the mower. Probably weighed 400 pounds or something like that, and then me on top of it. So you're talking over 600 pounds, and probably closer to 700 pounds. And ran over his head with it. And when I turned around, and like I said, he was just kicking on the ground, and I seen blood coming out of his nose. I'm not trying to. Yeah, well, the reason I'm telling this is because I'm happy with how it turned out. But I went and picked him up, and when I picked him up, he just started kicking real fast, kicking my arm. So I set him back down, and my wife, she came outside. She said she had seen my face, and she started crying and everything. And I honestly, I didn't think he was going to make it. I thought for sure he was going to die. It even come into my head like I'm going to have to somehow put him out of his misery, and I just couldn't do that. I'm just not good with that kind of stuff myself. I mean, I don't mind to hunt an animal or something like that, but a pet like that, it just, I couldn't. I don't think I could hardly do that. But anyways, I ended up taking him to the only vet that I could find open at that time, and they recommended me putting him down, euthanasia, or whatever they call it. And I told them no, so they made me sign some kind of paper after having him in there for about an hour. They gave him a shot and some other stuff, try to help with his swelling, because his brain was swelled up. His eye was swelled up and everything. But anyways, after all of that, he lived through it, and now that's been about 2 years, and he's probably the healthiest cat we got. He bullies the other cats. He's like the alpha cat around here, so he was up the next day kind of stumbling around, I think, because he was dizzy from his, brain being swelled and stuff, but he was stumbling around purring, and he was happy, and now you couldn't even tell anything ever happened to him now. But so I'm pretty attached to him after all that. We've got 2 big dogs and 4 cats now. Hey, baby. Huh? Where water is? It's still a little too cool for a water gun fight. No. It's a little cold for that. No. You'll just break that. Can't split wood with the water gun. Go back up there, Camden. Put it down. Put that wood down. Go up there and play with Carter and Marceline. Go on. Hey, put the wood down. Leave it down, Camden. Up there. You done notice? Stay up there and play. Go on. Look at that pretty little girl. Nice day today. 60 degrees, I think, around that. Yeah, we're glad to be back making videos again, though. Yeah, I think that was the longest we'd ever went without doing them. Maybe it was around 3 weeks or something like that. I'd like to do at least 3 videos a week or something of that nature, Probably do more, but I mean at least that many. And I plan to do a little roadside vlogging soon. I've done that in the past. Me and my brothers went with me and done it. And I really enjoy watching them, and it seems like they get some attention too, so I plan to do some of those. And as I said, I plan to have sort of a wood lot here at home this time. And normally I don't really do. I have done that. My first year I did that, but we lived somewhere else at that time. But I had a wood lot there. And then my second year and third, and now this is my 4th. Actually, this will be the end of my 4th, so this spring will be the beginning of my 5th year, doing landscaping. But so right now is coming to the end of the 4th year doing firewood. But so for the first year I had a wood lot, and then after that I didn't. but I do plan to have from here on. And for one thing, for extra footage, and I'll tell you one thing though, I plan to get me either a dump truck or a dump trailer or a dump insert for my truck bed even, because where I'm going to be, it just handling the wood so much more when you do it this way. You see how I normally do it. Normally I'll go to the wood, I'll bucket, I'll split it, and I'll load it, and then take it onto them. But when you're doing it like this, you've got to, if it isn't bucked, you've got a bucket. I like splitting it, honestly, before I throw it in the truck. It's just so much easier. And then you've already got it done, So I like bucking it, splitting it, loading it. And then if I've got to bring it home, I've got to bring it home and unload it. And if I would decide to stack it, I've got to stack it. And then, after that, then I've got to load it back up and everything. So a dump truck and dump trailer where I'm going to be handling the wood more, one or the other, insert, whatever, will just help with that a whole lot. Because there's no way around it if you bring it home like that, really, unless you have it delivered, by like a logging truck. And from what I've seen, that's not really worth it, to be honest with you. I don't really like having to pay that much from what I've seen, the numbers, pay that much for the wood, and then I like just going and getting it myself. I'm fine with doing the extra work to make the extra profit. So, anyways, I plan to have a wood yard right there this summer, and and that's like this right here. This wood is just extra wood, really. So a lot of this is going to get stacked right there. Now the rest of the wood I'll continue to do as I normally do. When I get to have deliveries to do, like right now I have 2 to do, I'll load them up as I normally do and take them on. But when I've got time in between those deliveries, I plan to just bring some wood here and stack it. That way I'll have some footage from that, and some of the wood will probably come from some roadside logging videos, honestly, just because they're fun. It's a change of scenery. You can get different types of wood. And I've got plenty of wood at all the locations that I've got now, especially now that I can go back to the cattle farm where I got it the first year.
So you guys, hello. I was making a video.
Come here where they can see you.
And he's doing it pretty good. Very good without splitting. But for some reason, son, that wood, it's very white.
Very white?
Yeah, right there.
That's because it's maple.
Okay, but when we just...
Where you going? You can't split it with plastic toys. It's not gonna. You ain't gonna split that sycamore. You better try some of this maple.
Okay, I'm trying to make.
You'll probably be a good splitter when you get bigger. Nobody's playing with you? They're not playing with you?
I was front of the game in town, and I was trying to tell them. And they were just thinking of other games that they want to play.
I love you. You're beautiful. You know
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Are your arms cold out here?
Yeah.
Doing Tom. Carter, y'all go play with her. Camden, throw that down and go on. Go on. Hurry for that tree falls on you. Run! Run, hurry! Fast as you can. Sonic, show them how fast you can go. Show them how fast you can go. Decent amount of maple. There's a little more here that's got to be bucked up. Not quite a truckload for sure, but it's a start. Maybe half a truckload, if that. Didn't take too long. I'll add a little cherry to it tomorrow.